I'm a shellfish grower. I have shellfish grounds in Washington State and in Oregon, and I actually make a living by selling oysters. There's four things that we're going to discuss today. We're going to talk about pearls. We're going to talk about how an oyster eats, and also the life cycle and range of these oysters. And at the end, we're going to have a demonstration on how to open an oyster. One of the most commonly asked questions for me is when I'm growing shellfish is, do you grow pearls? And I think Evan can tell us a little bit about pearls.
Okay. Pearls are made by an oyster. They get a little piece of sand in there, and it's an irritation on the meat because it's really soft. So what they do is they try to spin it around on them, and the inside of the shell gets stuck to the pearl. And whatever color the inside of the shell is the color that the pearl is going to be, and they keep it in there their whole life. So that's how a pearl's made. And then the color of they go a lot better down south, like he's growing some in Fiji, he said.
That's right.
So they grow a lot better in tropical water. Down here they really don't grow. They don't come out looking really good. So you can't really sell them down here, but tropical water is where you want to grow them really.
All right, thanks, Evan. The next item we're going to go over is how does an oyster eat? Many people just wonder, actually an oyster can live out of water for a week if they're kept cool. But how does an oyster eat? Zach, can you tell us how they eat?
Yeah, well, the oysters are filter feeders, and that means that they suck in water. They use their cilia, which are little hairs that they bring water into them with, and then they filter it through their system, absorbing plankton and algae, and then they filter out the water, cleaning the water in the bay. So they're pretty important to the bay to keep the water clean. So
That's a very important point that Zach brought up is, yes, oysters are filter feeders and they do keep your estuary clean. They help to keep your estuary clean. And in my business, clean water is everything. Okay, the next point we're going to talk about is the life cycle and range of these oysters. Can you carry us on that one, Audrey?
Sure thing, Mark. Okay, well, most of the oysters live from all the way from down to Baja California all the way up to Alaska. Now, all the wild oyster beds are mostly in Washington and British Columbia. Okay, well, the oyster starts out in a planktonic-like stage, and it lives column in the water, which means it lives in all levels. And then after about 2 weeks from swimming around, it finally has to sink to the bottom and find a place to latch onto, like a oyster shell or rock or anything hard, or else it will die. And then it just grows up, and Mark then finds the oysters and harvests them.
All right, thanks, Audrey. Shelby, you got any questions for this panel of experts here?
What do oysters eat, Zach?
they eat plankton and algae.
Thank you.
Okay, the next thing we're going to go over is Mark over here is going to demonstrate how to open a live oyster, and then perhaps maybe we can find somebody brave enough to knock one of these things down.
I'm gonna explain to you guys how we can open the oysters. A lot of people they start open the oyster, they by sideways, and I'm gonna explain to you guys. This is the best way, and we can open the oyster.
How long you been opening oysters, Marco?
I already got 9 years.
9 years.
Yep.
Okay. Do we have a brave soul
so.
here that would like to put this oyster down?
I'm gonna try.
Woo! All right.
Not bad.
Thanks, oyster people.
I
That's
prefer
great.
cooked.
All right, thank you.
All right.